Hello, everybody. It's Steve again. Hey, I want to be the first one to apologize. I'm a layman at this computer stuff, and I'm just learning. I'm in the process of switching computers because my main computer took a crash. I saved so much documents from all my research that I didn't get me a D drive, and so it ended up crashing. So I got me another one that I'm plecking on, and it's not as good as what I wanted. Anyway, you get what you pay for, huh? Well, hey, the reason why I'm making this video, I know it's very difficult to watch me on video. I know that. However, I want to get this video and this information out to as many people as possible. I think most of you know that I haven't been on the YouTube because I have been researching some items that maybe not everybody is interested in my own hometown of Huntington, Texas. Been doing a lot of research and finding some things out, and I got my own room now. Huntington Facts and Proof. And with that, we're being able to share a lot of information. I'm getting some members in there. We're learning some good stuff. We're learning to share information. And believe it or not, slowly but surely, we're becoming a community. We're making our community great again. We've got a T-shirt that's come out. Miss Anna said she's going to make us or come up with a T-shirt for us. So I don't know. I got the women up in the room and they're making decisions. So I may have to wear pink. But I tell you what, right now I'm doing it under protest if they make me wear pink. But I'll wear it just to get their attention. Anyway, this next subject I really want to get off the on a serious tip here. Is that recently we have been made aware of. Before I go any further, I'm going to leave the link to this information and this actual report from TECQ. This report just now came out for 2017. I'm going to leave the link here in the description box. Please feel free to look at this before, or look at the link and then watch the video, or vice versa. However you want to do it, whatever it makes sense to you guys. But I think if you'll read this report, well, I know that this is going to cause concern, especially to a lot of individuals who are out there who I follow on social media, and they follow me. First Amendment, Second Amendment, and our Fourth and Fifth. I mean, I've supported all of this. So I'm asking you to look at this and see if you can provide me support. Basically, here's our report. Here's how it goes. TECQ report actually covers all the way back to 2014 for the city of Huntington. This link that I'm going to provide you will direct you directly to that page on Huntington, Texas. Now, as you'll notice on this document, let me point you into some of the highlights. Number one, as you go down a little bit, you'll see in big black letters, it'll state that we are in serious violation of contamination to our water. Now, I'm not just saying maybe. I'm saying serious violations. I mean, this violation, if you get one, you get a fine or whatever. But we've got, 7 of these that we have that are in serious violation. Now, I want to draw your attention to, if you keep on going down the page, it'll show you the list of contaminants that we have in our water in Huntington, Texas. Now, out of the 7, if you look at that, and you look out beside that word, now I can't even pronounce those words, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, don't even get me to try because I'll mess it up. Anyway, beside that word, you'll look out beside there, and there is a correlation of what it causes and what this actually can do to a human body. 6 of these items on this list cause cancer. This does not mean that they may cause cancer. It does not say that it says basically it will cause cancer. If you are exposed to these products, it will cause you to develop cancer. Numerous types. It doesn't matter. It doesn't discriminate what kind of cancer. It just means you're going to get that if you're exposed to these individual contaminants, that it does cause cancer. Not if, not maybe, but it does cause cancer. Now, the general consensus is, well, you got to have out of those 6, you got to have a couple that meet up. You got to have, you got to have a combination of these 6, or no, any one of these contaminants just by itself can cause cancer. Now, if you look on there too, on the seventh one is chlorine. Now, why is that important? Why is it a serious violation? Well, we get chlorine in our pools and things of this nature. However, the fact is that long-term studies have not been conducted on chlorine. However, we know for short-term studies, and anybody exposed to chlorine right now, you get dizziness, you get a headache, you get shortness of breath, you get nauseated. It's kind of like you get the flu, but you just don't have the fever. You just feel like crap. Now, this short-term exposure um, also it affects you. However, the fact is the key point in chlorine that people don't realize is why it's effective and why it's a contaminant is because the fact is chlorine speeds up infection in your body. So in other words, if you have cancer and it's an infection, it's going to spread that cancer quicker. It's going to affect you, and the dire straits are going to be quicker than normally when someone has cancer who's not exposed to chlorine. So this is why we have dangerous levels in this. And not dangerous, we have serious violations. Okay, let's get this straight. We don't have violations. We got serious violations. In this group, in this page, you will actually see, if you search around on this site, you will actually see how long we've been in violation. Ladies and gentlemen, this document goes all the way back to 2014. It actually lists the quarters in which we are in violation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not even close. We're in the red all the way across the board. Only time we get a good mark is on the sewer, and that's gone since 2015. Now we're in the red again. So basically, the information there that you have in front of you is telling you these people are getting sick because of what's in their water. The numbers don't lie. The document don't lie. This goes all the way up to March of 2017. Recently, we had another quarterly inspection that came up that we were late on. We didn't produce it on time. So when we did, we got a violation. Not violation just because of the water, but we also got a violation on top of it because we didn't put it in a timely fashion. So let's think for a second, and let's just spitball here for a second, shall we? Let's put two and two together. One, the public works manager resigned before this inspection. The reason why was not given, but they parted ways mutually. Now, along this time, citizens of this city, more than other, but they experienced a more impact or being able to notice more of chlorine coming out of the water. In other words, when they were filling up their glass to get a glass of water, it was cloudy, white cloudy. The sin of chlorine permeated not only the residences, but it gets in your clothes. For the long time that people have it in their nose, they're breathing it, and it's chlorine. Normally, it's like that would signify, oh, your clothes are clean or whatever, but this was an excessive amount of chlorine to where it was affecting people's nose. And then it was also affecting people with the short of breath. People couldn't exercise like they used to because of the fact that they couldn't breathe like they used to. So the public manager, he resigns. We're late on the report. The report is very negative. It's serious violations again. And we get a fine. And we're not going to pay. So I suggest to you, by putting this together, I asked the question from you, did the city manager resign because of the public works manager, did he resign because he was asked to do something that he didn't think was safe by pumping so much chlorine into the water to try and make inspection and try to get out of the violation? The actual numbers support that. It's not all coincidence. Now, in case you're on this report, same thing has always been before. Same contaminants, same in the water. Now, if you'll notice on to the right side, there's 8 more contaminants that were above EPA guidelines are. So then we're just in violation. But we're not in serious violation. But we're still in violation. So if you add these together, okay, there's 15 things that are in our water that we shouldn't be there, that we're being contaminated with. The report's right there. Look it up. That's one of my statements. Look it up. Or you don't even have to. I'll provide it for you. Now, how do we determine where we go forward, or what do we do? Well, it depends on a lot of things. Number one is I'm coming out to the city of Huntington today on this video. And I'm also coming out to my contacts on social media, Gab, Twitter, Google, YouTube, or anywhere I can to get this word out. Because this subject here goes above and beyond what our city council is doing. I have made videos on the legal actions of our city council members, but this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is like it says in the report. It's a serious violation. So this goes above all my other research that I'm having, because the fact is that they know they're actually pumping this water in that is poisonous to our well-being. It's causing people to get sick, period. I challenge you to look up Huntington, Texas, and look at the number of individuals with cancer between the age of 46 and 52, most of them who are women. The numbers are outstanding. I look at you to see, okay, what is the cancer rate in Southeast Texas? But see, when you look that up, we're deceived, because the fact is those are the only ones that are reported this year, or this year, fiscal year. We don't take into consideration the ones that were done last year. So if you break it down on a yearly level, well, that's not too bad. But you look at it over the last 5 years, you're like, damn, we got a problem. So I'm stating to you that I believe, in my opinion, that the city of Huntington knows that these contaminants are in the water, and they haven't made a public comment on it. They haven't come out and said what's in the water. They haven't said or told the public what the consequences could be if you drink this water. Where they're involved is the fact is we have a lot of individuals now that are understanding here in Huntington, and I think everybody else here on social media will understand. The fact is that city council, okay, can actually run the town without even informing its citizens of what it's doing, just by not sharing information. Ladies and gentlemen, produce documents or ask questions from our city council members about this issue. We have to rely on the Freedom of Information Act to get this information. They won't give it to us. They will not publicly go on record and say we've got a problem. If they did that, then that would give us the option of saying, well, I don't want to drink the water. I talk to people around my town here. I'm not specifically saying my town. I'm just telling everybody on social media what we're going through. Talk to people in the town. You know what they tell you? Don't drink the water. Like in Mexico, don't drink the water. When you go there, don't drink the water. We have been warned by the EPA. It has been put out as a statement that if you are elderly or you are a kid in the city of Huntington, you need to go to your doctor and get a checkout to see if it's safe for you to drink the water. Why? Because elderly and our kids are the first ones to develop an infection. Everybody knows our children may get ear infections. They get nose infections, tonsillitis, all this other stuff. Any infection that invades your body, chlorine speeds that process. Our elderly are affected because the fact is that we've got too much chlorine in the water, and guess what? It speeds up the cancer rate. The breach that it's infiltrating your body. So my friends on social media, I'm actually reaching out to you because the fact is that I'm starting, and I have started kind of a grassroots, and I've got many people, Miss Ina, Miss Ruby, a lot of individuals are starting to understand and starting to ask questions. But ladies and gentlemen, what I'm putting out to you, the fact is that we have not kept up with this type of catastrophe. Our citizens are unaware because they've misinformed about the quality and what they're putting in their body. They keep it hush hush. I think everybody on social media that I actually follow will agree that this needs to get out. So I challenge you, please repost, retweet, regab, whatever you have to do, but get it to somebody else who is or can help us. We're not asking for money. We're not asking for donations. We're not asking for a handout. What we want is we want to get this information out so we can, Huntington can fix it. And we want to know what is affecting our health and our well-being. It's forced upon us by the city of Huntington. How bad it is, how brash our city of Huntington is the fact is we know this water is contaminated up to serious violations. However, the fact is they got away with raising the fees on contaminated water. Let me say that again. They raised the fees on contaminated water. Well, I know what everybody's thinking. Why didn't the city say? Why didn't the public say something? Why didn't the citizens stand up and say something? Well, we've already covered that in much video because people around here don't speak up too much because the fact is that it's detrimental to their reputation. It's detrimental to the kids that are in school. It's detrimental to their reputation and also the status at which they hold. They want to maintain their status so they can get the crumbs that the city council leaves behind them. They're bumfuzzled. But where do you draw the line, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, you've got to draw the line whenever you actually know that there's something that someone's producing, it's putting out there and charging you for, and it's poisoning you. I think that's enough to be repeating it. I'm going to leave down here also because we can't get the answers. Why? To public officials. Because what I'm hoping is maybe you can get an answer, and then you can let us know through third party what the answer is. That's how bad it is. We go to council meetings where they talk about softball games and baseball games and baseball teams when they avoid the issue of their water, which is the most serious thing that everybody's concerned about or should be concerned about. For me, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. All the research that I've done on Huntington and everything that I've done and everything that I found out, well, no, it was not good. And I reported. But something this serious has to be taken in consideration. It has to be treated seriously. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that water is poisoning us. We are drinking poison. And they know it. Another challenge I ask for you to do is, well, not you, but anyway, I'll just prove at this point. In fact, if you go to any church here in Huntington, we're in a Bible belt. We're a very religious city. I guess some people say, well, what's religious? Well, anyway, a lot of people go to church. It's questionable how many people live by the standards of the Lord, but then again, that's not me to judge. But the point I'm getting at is if you go to any church, we always, it's a tradition down in Southeast Texas that we offer up a prayer list. In other words, we identify something that we're asking the church to help us pray with. For individuals to get together and pray for one cause, with the hope that the good Lord will hear us all. But if you go to these churches and you hear this prayer list, and people are putting out their requests and why they're actually asking for the prayer, 85 to 90% will be praying for cancer. 85 or 90%. 85 to 90%. I guess it depends on what church you go to. But the main issue in our church today, what we're praying for, is for cancer. And why are we doing that? Because the fact it's starting right here underneath our nose. So in other words, in trying to pray for somebody's cancer, what we need to do is include in our prayers pre-pray for this water that we're drinking. It's not too much for a citizen to ask to pay their taxes, pay their school taxes, and pay for a government to provide them with the essentials. One of those being water, clean water that you can drink without any repercussions. We all know that there's contaminants in all kind of water. We all know that there's a risk of drinking some water, but at least be forthcoming and tell these individuals up front, if you drink this water, this can happen to you. If you go down to the Dairy Queen that makes the water, this may happen to you. And this doesn't just affect Huntington. I mean, I know people that go fishing up here in Huntington all the time, or go to Sam Rayburn all the time, and come through here and stop, get them soda water or two. Fishing season, they go every weekend. Every time I get away from the house, wife ain't looking, man, they're going fishing. In the public lake system, they put out on a daily basis the amount of contamination in a lake. You can go there and see how much lead is in the lake, how much iodine, how many contaminants are actually in, if it's acceptable or not. They tell you these things, and then it's your decision to go out and eat the fish if you want to. But it's your decision. We don't even have that decision. We don't have that option because we don't know what nobody will tell us. So for my friends on social media, even if you're not, I'm going to share this video with you, and please take a look at this document. Please take a look at this document, say, and come to me and say, this is not true. This is why I can't believe you. Please do that. I don't think there'll be one of you in the bunch. Please share this with individuals who want to know, who are in this business to help people, help towns like this to overcome these type of obstacles. I don't know, but I have a friend. Her name is Ruby. And she was telling me a story, and she said, you know what, right behind her house, there's a boy that's 14 years old, and he's already got cancer. Lived here all his life. Knowing what I know right now, I would be guilty if I didn't report it. Because I don't sleep well at night if I know something's harming my friends or my family or my fellow citizens. I don't sleep well at night unless I'm trying to do something about it. Especially on this issue. If I know that people are getting contaminated water and they're not being told the truth, that's a lie produced by our city council. It's lying. No, that's not a penalty. No, that's not. However, the fact is, I bet you there's legal repercussions to that if we would just pursue it. Someone asked the county said something to the county one time up at the courthouse, the county courthouse up there in Lufkin, said, you know what, something's wrong with that water in Huntington. Old boy looked at him and said, yeah, that's why nobody drinks the water in Huntington. So you mean to tell me that you're going to allow a city in a state, in a country that has worse water than down in Mexico? Is that what we're on about? Feast or famine, you're on your own. Ladies and gentlemen, these documents that I presented are true. They're not fake news. They'll slap you right in the face and say, damn. If you can walk around after you're reading this document, and you can say people, and you can ask yourself, people are living like this. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You're gonna have a few choice words. We can't use them in Huntington because we can't cuss in Huntington either. You can't even cuss the water if you want to. But I don't know what we have to do. I do not know who we have to contact. I have sent letters. I have sent emails. I have sent everybody to every city official that I can. Every representative. Every environmental agency. Anything that I could think of. I put it to the press. I've actually asked these individuals to just look at it. And none of them will deny that I don't got a story. But why isn't it investigated? Two reasons. Number one, because the fact is that, you know what, it's been hidden for so long, no one wants to know about it because of the possible repercussions. We're talking back to 2014. Who all from 2014 to 2017 has gotten cancer? And why? Our city doesn't realize. The fact is, with the advance of technology and our DNA, we can actually go back and we can look at these individuals and we can pretty much tell you what caused the cancer. I challenge everybody here in the city of Huntington. I know it sounds gross, but I challenge everybody. Whenever you pass away, put it in your will. Give me an autopsy, so I can prove. It. Maybe they'll take some action. But no one should have to be able. No one should be forced to live this way. No one should be forced to live in fear of what they're putting in their body. No one should have to be put through a situation or a city government to where you can't even speak your mind. I was rebuffed by the mayor because I was offering solutions. I was offering things that we could do to help our community. He said, no, you're not going to come in and tell us what to do. I think the city council forgot who they work for. I think they forgot who pays all that. But anyway, I digress. This is something that I'm not going to let go of. Contamination of water is just wrong on so many levels. But it's wrong because the fact is they're lying and they won't admit it. They will not come up with a solution. They will not even come up with ideas. Our city council won't even discuss ideas how to deal with our contaminated water. I think that should be the first on the list, don't you? Here we discuss baseball and softball teams. That's more important. So I challenge each and every one of you. I'm actually asking for social media to pick this up and run with it if you can. I have nothing to offer you. I can't pay you. I can't pay you no money. But what I can tell you is that if you jump on and help us out, you'll be a part of something that you're going to read about. It's eventually going to come out. So what's the sense of urgency? Well, it's going to come out anyway. Because the fact is, every day we delay it, we don't get this reported, and we don't get the right people looking at it. We don't get someone to look at these results. Somebody else might get sick. I can't live with that. Every time I go to downtown or I go to the city and I walk around and I see people with cancer, I can't help but think, just think, how'd they catch it? Is there something we could have done to stop it? As I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put down in the description down here or in the message part, I'm going to give it to you. But anyway, I'm going to put you the actual link to this report. I'm also going to give you names of individuals who work for our city that maybe could answer your questions because they won't answer ours. I took the opportunity because now it's been in the news, but it's kind of dying down now. But for a long time, Flint, Michigan had to go through all of this kind of procedure. No one wanted to admit there was something in the water. City and the county or the city, they fought it hands down, swearing up and down there was nothing wrong with the water. I take those levels and I take their report and I compare it to the one in Huntington. There ain't much difference. The difference is sometimes the name of the contaminant. But as we learned in Flint, and they have proven all those contaminants cause cancer. The people ask me, they'll say, well, you don't know if all that's true. You're speculating. Yeah, I'm speculating because the fact is somebody has to. Somebody has to think outside the box and say, what if? And find out that what if is not right or wrong, or why are they doing this? We should have answers to those questions, but we don't. So I'm going global. I'm going to everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Sally and Sue, to please help me get this information to the individuals who can help us quickly and provide us some answers. If this is not as serious as this report says, then please come in here, somebody, and tell me why this report doesn't make any difference. Somebody please come and tell me that, so I can rely on somebody else's word beside my city council or my city who's protecting their butt. I cannot tell you individuals how serious this is in Huntington. If you would see it on your own, you would be aghast. Can't cuss in public. You can do all the meth you want and run up and down these highways all you want, but god dang, don't get caught cussing or speeding. That's serious offense. We've got a city council who ignores contamination in the water. Won't even admit it's true. Won't even issue in time until we can fix it an option which we suggested as citizens that, you know what, let's purchase our water from elsewhere so we can guarantee that we got clean water. There's a place called Brookshire Brothers. It's right up the road. It's our shopping center, or not a shopping center, but it's our grocery store. For some money, you can go up there to Brookshire's, and you know what? You can grab a gallon, empty gallon or two, and you can go up there and pay some extra money and fill your jug up supposedly with clean water. Ladies and gentlemen, after seeing all that, come to find out that damn water's coming straight from the same tap. And they're making money off contaminated water. If it is not enough that what I mentioned before, I want you to realize this is, I'll say it again because this is important. The city just added fees to our utility, water, and sewer. We had a rate hike on contaminated water. I know there are many out there in social media are like, you got to be kidding me. My fellow citizens here in Huntington are like, oh, well, I don't believe that. Well, you got to put, like I said, outside the box. Think about what these individuals are capable of and what they've already done. So I come to you from all involved. I support you individuals on some things. You know what? I spread the word to help you get along in your cause. What I'm asking for is the fact is we got to create numbers here for somebody to listen. Remember that saying, make DC listen? Well, we need to make Huntington listen. Stop abusing our rights. Stop feeding us contaminated water. Stop holding secret meetings that the public are unaware of. So people in the social media, I'm not asking you to support me. I'm asking you to look at the cause and see if that's something that you need to repeat or you need to let other people know about. In closing, I question our clergy, our ministers, our preachers, and our pastors. If you read this report and you see that this is going on and it's making your parishioners sick, what kind of Christian are you if you don't speak up? What type of person are you if you just allow this to go on and for other people to get sick and just think, well, it ain't gonna happen to me? May not. Well, having somebody in your family or somebody you know. I think of a friend right now. Her name is Ruby, like I said before. She went to have a little procedure done on her hand. I'm not really sure about the details. Maybe it's wrong. But anyway, it was supposed to be minor surgery or whatever. But come to find out, after she went under the knife, it was cancer. Or believed to be cancer, or it was damn close. I have to ask her for the right story. But anyway, I wonder, because she's lived here all her life. I don't know how much she was exposed to this water, but guess what? She's sick. So please, everybody who reads this, if you've got a heart, or if you just want to know some answers, or if you choose to pick up the torch and help us out, my hat's off to you. Because you're doing the right thing. It don't matter if I say you're doing the right thing. That's not what matters. The fact of the matter is that you're doing it and the good Lord's watching. This small little gesture on your part will do one thing. It will help a city stand up against an oppressive government. It will make them held accountable for the decisions that they make, and they will realize that guess what? We can't get away with it anymore. We have to involve the people. Hope and I pray that you guys have a good evening. Sorry about the other video. I apologize. It's all my fault. But as I said, I redone it again. So we'll see what happens. Good night and good evening. God bless.